Okay, so today, the last week we covered tasks. Then what we covered is actually already included in that MOSP webinar. We just covered the basic concepts of creating tasks and how you modify them. But almost every day we shall be creating new tasks. So in case you have any question, you'll be raising it up. Okay?
Okay.
Hello? Yeah, so today we're going to cover resources in detail. Yeah, so here I have a sample project. Actually, it is from a template. The way you can create a template is you can come to File, then New. So if you go internet, you'll be seeing a list of templates. Yeah, so you can also create. Okay, you can see that most of my projects are following maybe the same calendar, they are using the same currency, they are using like those similar, there are certain similar things that are appearing in every project. So you can decide to create a template on your own in that every time you create a new project, you start from a template. Yeah, so now these are sample templates that have been built and being shared online. So you can decide to build from one. For example, if maybe you want to look at how residential, maybe construction, the different tasks that are involved, you can choose this. Then you click on create, then it will download. So it needs internet connection in case you want to use online templates. Yeah. But today we're going to cover resources in details, how you add resources, how you assign them, and what they call resources. Yeah, so on every project, we have two types of resources. We have human resources and non-human resources. So the human resources are the people that are within the project. The non-human resources like the materials that you're using, there's some costs that you're incurring, the time. Yeah, so that is non-human resources. So in the software, you have to first enter the resources, then you assign those resources onto different tasks. Yeah, so that's what we're going to see today. Then also we're going to cover resource leveling. Like how do you ensure that your resources are not over-constrained? Because you may find that maybe you only have 2 project managers on the site, but you have 100 tasks. But you realize that almost on each task you are assigning a project manager to be part of the task. So now that means you are overlocating that particular resource. So you are over-constraining it. So resource leveling helps you to go away with that. In that you're not over-utilizing or like exhausting resources, and also you're not underutilizing them. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to be using a blank project for demonstration. Then we reach on doing resource leveling. I'll go back to the template that has some resources already. Yeah. So in order for you to enter resources, you come. This is called a view tab. This one here. Yeah. So you come and change from Gantt chart to resource sheet. Yeah. Then from here, this is where we enter the different resources that we have. Yeah. So we're going to start by entering the human resources. For example, we have the project manager. Let me first save this. Yeah, so the only, as long as you enter the resource name, these other fields are optional, but they have a meaning. For example, you have to give the resource a name, that is the resource name. Then under type, you have 3 different types. You have work, material, and cost. Yeah, so for work is the one that is being given to the human resource, the people, or the resources that can be assigned a particular work to do. Yeah, although a group of equipment can be given work, that is if you own the equipment. For example, maybe you bought a grader, so that can be given work. But in case you're just hiring it, now that means you are incurring a cost when you use that resource. So they will be falling under cost. So you can normalize using work on human resources. Then the non-resources can take on these two. Yeah. Then after that, now for human resources, you don't need to put anything under material. Maybe what you can put is under initials. So every resource should have a particular initial. Then the grouping, we shall cover it later on, the resource grouping. Then what is more important is this is the standard rate, then this is part-time rate. Yeah, so for standard rate, you have to enter how much those people earning per hour. That's what you're supposed to enter. So in case maybe you're paying them for a month, then you can calculate accordingly. For example, every month you realize that you're working 20 days a month, then each day you're working 8 hours. So now that means that person is working 8 times 20, that is 160 hours. So you can get their total salary, total monthly salary, and divide by 16, then you come up with a rate. Is that clear?
Yes, clear. Yes.
Okay, here we entering the standard rate per hour. But remember when we are having this here options, under options, let me first put back. See under option, when we went to schedule, this is the days per month. Yeah, so now that means how many hours per week? There are 40 hours per week. So if you know that in a month there are 4 weeks, how many hours will they be working for a month? That will be 4 times 40, that is 160. So you can get their total salary and you divide by the number of hours. Then you get the rate per hour. Yeah. So let me change. Yeah, maybe they are earning 50,000, 20. Yeah. So that is the standard rate. Then after the standard rate, you have to enter the overtime. The overtime is the amount someone receives in case they work overtime. So this will be more. What do you think? Will it be less or more? It depends.
It will be more. It will be more. The rate will be more.
Okay. Yeah, so here, maybe it can be 30,000 because someone is working on a Sunday. Yes, actually, here the money is not displaying the decimal places. I think we jumped that, but under options, when you go to display, you can change the number of the small digits that you want to display. But you know, here in Uganda, we don't have cents. Yeah, so the digits may not help that much. Yeah. Then these are the ones, this cost per use, now this one applies to a cost. To a resource, which type is cost? For example, a grader, you are hiring it, then they are charging you per hour. So you get to know that every hour they are charging me 40,000. So that's when you feel this. So human resource cannot be cost per use because there's no one who is paid by usage. We pay them in standard rate. The resource is evenly distributed, like the work. Okay, you have human resource, then we just assuming that their productivity, we just assuming that it is evenly distributed or it is the same all over. Yeah, so you can leave it to that, but in case you want to go into detail, you can say maybe at the start, that's when they have the high productivity than at the end. Yeah, but for now you can leave it to this. Then this is the calendar. Yeah. So I created a blank project. That's why I'm not seeing the other calendar I will try to create. But in case you still have the new calendar, you will be able to see it under the list. Then now let's add okay, a cost, for example, grader. Then this, let's call it cost. Then you put just the cost per use, maybe 50,000. Let's first add others. And say maybe you have aggregates. This is a material resource. Then we have maybe sand. You can also insert, for example, here we have the site engineer. Work. And change the initials and display like two of them. Maybe a designer also work. And also give them rates like 30. Yeah, so this is how you can create a list of resources. Yeah. So now when you go back, in case when you go back to Gantt chart, here if you have tasks, let me put control tasks. Then I'm creating some tasks. I think this one you watched it over the video, right? Yeah. How you can create tasks and insert new tasks. Yeah, so we can indent this. Yeah, so are we okay with this, how you create and indent? Is
Yes.
that clear to you?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. Now then here you can give different durations, but now today our concentration is on resources. Yeah. So when you assign in resources, you don't assign to levels because these are kind of like levels of the project. Eh? They are not the real tasks. It's only the tasks that consume resources. Yeah, so these are the tasks now. These ones that are not, because here, okay, I can call this maybe level. For example, if level 1 is about the design, okay, the feasibility studies and the design and everything. So I get to know that the moment I the moment I complete those tasks, I'm done with a particular level. For example, the initiation stage is done. Yeah. Then if it is a building, then I'm going to start on a foundation. Then I know that under the foundation, I have excavation. I have to do the trenches, have to do the setting out and all that. Dan, what is your background? The field?
Civil engineer.
Hey, yeah. Then that is okay. So we know that under the foundation, there are a number of tasks that are being done. So the foundation itself, it's not a task. It's just that showing that the moment you create, we get done with these tasks, we're going to be done with the foundation. Yeah, so you give resources to only the tasks like here. So in order for you to give resources, you can click on this drop down. Then you select the tasks. You check or you tick the resources. For example, here I need the designer and maybe the project manager. Like that, then you press enter. So that's how you assign the resources. Or you can type in the initials, for example, SE. In case that initial means something. But now if I never added it, it will just add itself as another resource. Eh? Yeah. So you have to be keen about the initials. You have to use the exact one. But the better way of doing it is just you select. You can select either all of them or just one, like that. So if there are very many that are selected, they are going to be separated with a comma. Yeah. So that's how you deal with the resources. Then another way of assigning resources is you select the task, for example, task 1, then you double click. When you double click the task, it brings a dialog that has more information about that task. Yeah, so you go under the tab having resources. Then under resource name, there is a drop down here. So you can select a particular resource that is assigned to that task. Yeah, so for this one, you don't use a comma. In case, for example, you use one by one. If I need a designer, then I will add another. Maybe I need a designer and a project manager. That's how you assign. Yeah. Then that is another way of assigning. You see it as displayed. So you can either choose from here, or you can double click, come under resources, then select a particular resource that you're using. Then another thing that doesn't need resources is a milestone. A milestone, it just marks the end or like an achievement. Yeah. So in order for you to insert a milestone, you also insert it as a task. Okay, let me insert it here. Let me call it milestone 1. So how you identify that it is a milestone, it has 0 days. These other ones will have like maybe 5 days, 10, 13, then if this is tomorrow, okay. Then this one is maybe going to start on 19th. So this one just has 0 days and it will be displayed here with a diamond. So this means it is a milestone. Yeah. So now you can realize that here we have a warning, we have a particular warning. Yeah. So it's under the information column and it is saying this task has over allocated resources. So what it means is that either you've allocated a lot of resources to it, or it can be the other way around. Yeah, so we are saying that if you are in Gantt chart and you are under tasks, here the warning will be about that task you've over allocated a number of resources onto it. Yeah, for example, a task only has 5 days, but now you've allocated like 2 people on the same task. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't be 2, but according to the analysis of the software, it is seen that you over allocated a resources on a single task. Yeah, so it can be about you to adjust. Then in case you are under resource sheet that is showing the number, it's showing the number of resources, then where you see red, now that means just one resource, you allocated it a number of tasks. So now that means you're over constraining your resources or you exhausting the resources. Yeah, so you need to look at it. So how you fix this is you fix it by doing resource level. Yeah. So before we go to resource level, is there any question about this?
Yes, I have a question. On the, if you may go back on the resource sheet.
Yes.
There is a column which shows the maximum units.
Yeah.
I see it is in percentage. I don't know what it implies.
Okay, that one, it implies that that resource, its availability, the maximum availability.
Yes.
So if it has 100%, it means that it is totally available. If for example, maybe a project manager is assigned a particular task here, and you is not going to be fully on that project for that task, it's just going to be like part-time. You can decide to give a particular percentage, for example, 50%.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it implies. So it is kind of corresponding to this, though this is about whether the distribution is evenly or it is skewed to a certain side. But this one is about the availability or like the input that resource has. So if it has 1, now that means we are assuming it will be available. It's not going to be just part of the task for a certain amount of time. Yeah.
Okay.
1 means 100%. So
Okay.
any other question?
Then also, yes.
Yes, go on.
Yes, then also, okay, in case you are inputting in resources manually, like, okay, like how many times, okay, like how do you tell that I'm not like overlocating this resource? Like, is there a number of times that you reach and you realize that you've overlocated resources, or the software can automatically inform you, then you do the leveling.
Yeah, the software just gives you a warning here. It just gives you a warning when it comes to resources. It will be under. It will give you a warning that this resource is overlocated. Yeah? But it is about you to decide whether you want to do resource leveling, or that is okay, particular resource you've overlocated will be able to handle the work. For example, if on every stage you've assigned a project manager to be part of that stage, the software will show you that you've overlocated the resources, but for you, you may need the project manager to be part of each stage or like part of each task. So if that is the requirement, you don't fix it, you leave it to be overlocated.
Okay, so it won't have any effect on the what? On your work, what you're doing, yes. It won't have any effect.
It has an effect, and it's what we're going to look at.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, now we're going to do some simple leveling on. Remember, this project is very brief. Then after, I'm now going to use a template that has a number of resources, and you see it very clear. Yeah. So in order for you to do resource leveling, you come under resource. Are we all there? Yeah, so we go to resource. Then here, see this group that has level. Yeah, there is level resource, there is level all, then there's leveling options, and clear leveling and next overlocation. Yeah, so today we're going to cover these three. Okay, the four: level resource, level all, leveling options, and clear leveling. Yeah, so the first one, level resource. It means that you just leveling a particular resource. Remember, we said resource leveling is about evenly distributing your resources so that they are not over constrained or being exhausted on the project. To level resource, it will give you a list of tasks. It will give you a list of resources that you have. Then you select a particular resource that you want to level. Shift and a down arrows to select more, but in case I just want one, I will just click one. Yeah, so now let me change and I go to resource sheet so that I can see it. Okay, these are the two resources that are being overlocated, yeah? Project manager and designer. So let's try to level project manager. Yeah. You go to level resource, so project manager, say level now. Have you seen a difference? Have you seen what has happened? Maybe I can undo. See, now it is still having a warning that this resource is overlocated. Then, okay, there is another view where you can see the way the resource is being used. It's called resource usage. You can see the number of hours for each resource. Yeah? For example, project manager, under task A, he has 40 hours. Then under task 1, he has 8 hours. Yeah. So now let's do level resource. Go to project manager, say level all. Yeah. So the red warning will go away. The number of hours may not reduce, but the warning will go away when we come back to resource sheet for overlocation. Yeah. So now we want to know, has our project duration being changed? Okay. Yeah, I didn't link tasks. Let me first link all of them. Okay, this is how you link. I want to link all so that there is a relationship between them. Yeah, so you select all of them, then you come to this link the selected tasks. So it will show different arrows here. This is about relationships. We shall cover something all about this. Yeah, but this one means when this one gets done, that is the finish, then this one has to start. So the relationship between them is finish to start. There are some tasks that will wait for a particular task to start, then it also starts. So that is a start to start. Yeah, but this one is finish to start. So in case the bars are going off, you can come to view, then set the entire project. So it will be kind of exposed so that you can see all the project. Yeah, so now we need to do. Okay, now let's level another resource and we see whether there will be a change in our days or the way it is being displayed here. Yeah, so we go back, resource sheet, designer is also overallocated. Then let's look at the number of hours. Yeah, so the designer is on task A and task 1. Yeah. So now let's switch back to this. We want to watch, when we label the resource, we want to see how the task is changing. Yeah, yeah, so we're going to watch task A and task 1, and we see whether there is going to be a change where there is designer. So we go under resource, label resource, then we select designer, then say label now. Yeah. So have we seen any difference? Which difference? Yeah, the red has disappeared, but just that, remember this was just a sample project. Yeah, the days are just very small, the number of days that I've put. But what it does, the human resource or the particular resource will stay on the task, but it's going to split the task and increase its duration. Yeah, then that's when these dashed lines come. That's how they come. These ones here. Like they come after splitting the activity. Yeah? Yeah, so I'm going to load the other template that has a lot of resources. Then we try to level so that you can see different. You can see how different it is. Or we can first cover the concept, then we go to the demonstration. Yeah. So that is the first one. That is level resource. Then the next one is called level all. So for level all, it is going to level the entire project. So it's going to adjust the start and finish of the activities so that your resources are not over-constrained. That's what is going to appear. So in order for us to see the changes, I'm going to first go to clear leveling. Now that means I'm going away with leveling. Yeah, let me just say for the entire project, or to be, and come here, not resource. Okay. May not show it back the overallocation. But that's the difference between level resource and level all. Yeah, the level resource, you leveling a particular resource so that it's not over constrained. Then for level all, it's going to evenly distribute the resources so that they are not over constrained. But it's going to start and the finish of the different tasks of the entire project. And now that means the duration of the project is going to increase also. Yeah. So in order for you to implement that, you just go to level all, then it will work automatically. Yeah. We're going to see how it works. Then the next one is labeling options. Yeah, so for labeling options, it means that it is giving you different options of you to do labeling. Yeah, so under this, we have a number of options to choose from. There is automatic and manual. So it's better leave it to manual. If you leave it automatic, it's kind of like going to do level all. Yeah, so it's going to use the defaults and everything. So let's leave it to manual. Then look for overlocations on. You can look for overlocations on day-by-day basis or hour by hour. So now this will depend on the way you are entering the duration. So if you entered it in weeks, better you choose week by week. If you entered it in days, choose day by day. Then now you can decide to level the entire project from the start to the finish of the project. Or you can choose to level from, you may decide and say, I'm going to overallocate resources in the first 3 months of my project. But when we've reached maybe the superstructure, or like we've done the biggest percentage of that project, now I don't need people to work overtime. I don't need to over constrain them. So you can level only the last month. So that's when you come to level from, you choose the date, then you also choose the date. Now we can leave it to level the entire project. Then now there are also these other options. Yeah, you can level by splitting tasks, by doing what. Then after you selecting different options, you click OK. So that is the one for leveling options. Yeah. So now let me note the template, maybe this. Let me use this one. So any question about resource level? Do you have any question? Okay. So now you see this. It has some activities that have been overlocated resources. So let's look at resource names. So you see these ones in the angled brackets. That is the other maximum units that he was asking about. So now this means 25%. Yeah. Then this means 10%, like that. Because you can see maybe these were departments like project management is going to be there, but not fully. Then maybe procurement is going to be there, but just like 50%. Yeah. So now let's go to resource. Yeah. So we say when we go to level resource, what is it going to do? It's going to level a particular resource. Yeah. So it is better when you're doing level resource and you want to see changes, you come to the resource sheet, then you change to resource usage. So you can see the ones that have been overlocated or the ones that have green. See the number of hours it has, the resource has. Yeah. So now let's do level resource and see whether the hours will decrease or just we shall go away with the red mark. So we're going to go to resource, level resource, and that is GC management. So the red one, but the number of hours have not changed. Yeah. So let's first task here. Let me undo. This is 344 days. Okay, we go to resource level. Yeah, the days have adjusted, but not so big. They just adjust a bit because we've just done it to one resource. So if you do it to another one, they will increase more because now we removing the over. We are not exhausting our resources, and the tasks have to be splitted. So that's why the duration increases. Yeah. Then also, this is where you see. This is what I was talking about, these dashes. So it will split the task. So now this one means that the task is not like it's not being worked on. So now you see the number of days are increasing, but nothing is happening to the task. Before that, the task was, this was closer to this, meaning that it was taking very few days, like either 2 or 3. But now when you level the resource, it splits it up and the duration increases. Yeah. So now let's test level all. So now this is going to be for the overall project. So we expect a big change. Yeah. So you watch 344 days, then okay. I'm going to level all. Yeah. 355 days from 344. Yeah. So the warnings go away. Also, you can see some tasks have been splitted. They have been splitted all over, and also the project duration increases. But what this one means, you may say, why would I need to do this yet it is increasing the project duration? Yeah. So you want to know, in case I don't over-constrain my resources, how long can I take to finish this activity or this project? Yeah, so it's kind of like you want to analyze and see, if I work normally without overtime and everything, how long am I going to take to finish that project? So if you see that the difference is not big, you can work with resources when you're not exhausting. Yeah, because sometimes when you overexhaust the resources, there are some you may incur different risks. Maybe if it's a person, they may get sick, then now that means the next activities will not be involved, and that can delay the entire project. So you want to have a look at how long am I going to take if I just work efficiently without over utilizing or exhausting my resources. Yeah. So that is the resource level. So is it clear?
Yeah, that duration which is extending, it is telling you actually the cost of that extension. And then you compare when you are not level, then you make it. When you should level it, or you leave it like that as long as not affect you.
Yeah, as long as there are some projects which are not, okay, they are not so considering time. Like if maybe just additional 10 days, it can be delayed and you're not incurring more costs, because sometimes when you delay the project, you may incur more costs. So you also have to look at that. Brian, is it clear?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So now, so that was resources. So now we're going to cover just some more things on tasks, because today we are concentrating on resources, but now we're just going to cover some other small things about tasks that we didn't cover the other time. Yeah. So The first one is you may have what they call a recurring task. For example, you always have meetings at 2 p.m., maybe every Friday. So now that means in here, you'll have to come and repeat the same task in your schedule. But there is a way you can do that, and you just put it once. You call it a recurring task. For example, let's call it project meetings. Yeah, so okay, project meeting is going to be our recurring task. Yeah. Okay, the better way to do it is you just select where it's going to be. You don't type it there. Just select where it's going to be. For example, here. Then you come under task. Then select recurring task. Then you type the task name from here. For example, project meetings. Yeah. So now you have to select what is the pattern for recurring. Is it daily? Is it weekly? Is it monthly? Like when does it happen once per day or once per week or once per month? Like that.
If you it's monthly.
Okay.
That will be the one which involves maybe the client, but there are other which takes place.
And the daily basis or weekly? Yeah. Okay, for example, maybe it is weekly and it happens every Saturday before you go for the Sunday weekend. Yeah. Then you can select the range of the recurrence. So if I select that it's going to be weekly on every Saturday, but now which range from, for example, I can select 2 months, like the first 2 months. Now that means you're going to have 4 meetings the first month, then other 4 meetings for the next month. So you're going to have 8 meetings. Yeah. So you don't have to go everywhere and you schedule it. You just come here, select weekly, then choose the day, like it is Saturday, then choose the range, like from, so I may need, let me say next Saturday, and after. So I can say and after. Okay, I only want to take 10 project meetings. So you can do that, or you can say end by, and you just select the date. Maybe here. If I put occurrences, it will be changing the date. I see the date changing down. So let's put 10. Yeah. Then you can also select the calendar that you're going to follow. Then press OK. Yeah. So here there is a warning because the template I've used, we didn't change the Saturday to be a working day. But now let's just select yes. So now you see that it has schedule for you, it has done for you a schedule. So you would have repeated this, and it even gives it a number, project meeting, maybe 1, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, like that. And it will group it. This is just grouping, like it is grouping it under project meetings, but there is a way it's going to merge into your overall schedule of the project, because even when you look at see that graph, the graphical representation, it is also there, but there is a way it is merged with existing activities within here. Because having project meetings doesn't stop you from going to the field in the morning and you come and do the project meetings. Yeah, so most of the recurring tasks, they don't need totally full day. That's why you can see that when you try to follow maybe this, you will find that there will be some tasks that are happening along there, then you have a project meeting. So that's how you set a recurrent task. A recurring task. That's how you set it. Then the next thing we're going to look at, is there any question?
After highlighting that
Mm.
and you selected it,
Yeah.
it will just line it down there. Like, I thought it would distribute it.
Okay, yeah, it is easier for you to look at it. This is called grouping. We shall have a look at it. Like, but when you look at the dates, they may be fitting within. Yeah, that's why you see here there is a graph, but there is one on top. So it is within the schedule. Then the next thing we're going to look at. Okay. The next thing we're going to look at is called hyperlinks. Yeah, so you may be, okay, now you see like here, submit bond and insurance documents. Yeah, so may you want to link to external documents. For example, here, you want to link to a bond. Maybe you set a contract on your computer. But now you want to be in the schedule and easily allocate it without going to check and see, maybe I don't remember where did I put this document and all that. So you can link it from here. Yeah. You select the task, right click on it, go to hyperlink. Okay, it depends on the version. There are some versions that will show you hyperlink or link. Yeah. So this is 13. I think it is 13 to be showing link, but 16 and 19 will show you hyperlink. So from here, this is where you go to where your document you want to select on is located. Yeah. So now, let me see if we have any document here. Okay, maybe this. Like I want to link to test. Select OK. Then the link will appear here. That is the address. Then now you can put the text display when you are in the schedule. For example, let's call it bond or insurance bond. Then there's also what they call a screen tip. So this one will appear when you take the cursor there. Let me call it signed document. Signed bond. That's okay. And okay. Yeah, so you see this. Yeah, so the text document is the one on top. Insurance bond document. Then the screen tip is the one which is down. So if you want to access it, just click on it. You just click once on it. Then it's going to open. I think blind may not be able to see it. Maybe I change. Okay, I think the document, I was just sampling it, it is empty. But this is the one it has opened. Yeah, so you don't only, it's not that you can only link to documents that are offline, you can also link to an online document. Like I've said, you can have a document which is being stored on Google Drive, then you generate an external link for that. Then you come and paste it here. For example, here, you come to link, then I can say contract. Then you put the link, you paste the link of that document here. So let me just type in www.edupeople.com. Say okay. So when I come and click here, it's going to use any browser and it opens. See that? So now if it was a link document, the document would have been, yeah. That's how linked documents work. Yeah. So we're going to end here today. Is there any question? We left you 4 minutes on Zoom. Land, you
Hello?
have yes.
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Yes, I can hear.
Yes, okay, maybe mine is maybe just to share the Zoom meeting
Yes.
afterwards, the recording.
Yeah, I'm going to share with you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome. Yeah, tomorrow, what time is it?
The time that is it going to be covered by
Can you make it at 11 tomorrow? 11 a.m. in the morning.
Yes. At that is
At
11 to
1.
1.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yes, I'll be online. Yes, I will.
Okay, then we shall have our next session tomorrow. Then after the session, I'll give you kind of like an assignment to practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you to have you.
Okay.